Hello everyone, welcome back to another Django-Oscar video. This time about backend customization. So how can we adjust the backend to suit our needs, right? I'm going to be following this post in my blog and I'll leave the link in the description. If you want to follow from there, you are welcome. Now there are two links in here for documentation. One is for the official Django-Oscar documentation, and the other is for the source code of Django-Oscar itself. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can still do it right now. Django-Oscar offers you this feature of forking apps. Forking an app is creating a representation of an original source code app. Let's put it like that. So imagine Django-Oscar has these apps by default, and there is something that we want to modify, imagine, with shipping. So what we will do is to fork the shipping app and change the part of the code that we want to modify. Now, behind the scenes, what will happen is that when we run the project, Django-Oscar will continue running the original code, but it will look for the forked app, and the parts that you have changed will be replaced in the original code. Okay? It's really just that. You have the source code in these apps. You fork one of them, say shipping. That's what we will be doing in the next video. Or in this video, really. We fork this app. Then we can modify parts of the code. Then in the end, when the project is running, Django-Oscar will replace the parts we modified to the original source code. Okay. Now, how can we do this? After the theory, let's get more practical. To fork an app, you simply run this command. So python manage.py Oscar fork app. Then you pass in the name of the app that you want to fork, and you give a name to your forked app. So in this case, I named it my shipping. I always do it like that. So my shipping, my address, my basket, whatever the necessity is. So let's do that. Let me go to the command line and simply going to paste that, run it. It was successful. Replace the entry Oscar apps, shipping apps, ship config with this line. So it's basically telling me now you need to replace the Oscar app with the app you have just forked. So let's do that. I'm going to copy this line. Let's go to settings. You can see that the forked app is already in here, but let's go to my site, settings, look for the shipping app. You can either remove it or comment. Just going to leave it there as a comment and add my shipping app. Now, my shipping app will look like this after forked. Everything is empty, but whatever code we add in here will be sort of replaced in the original app. Well, let's just prepare for the next video by creating two files. So methods.py and repository.py. Let's do that. So in my shipping new file, start with methods.py and then another one for repository, repository.py. Well, why have I choose these names? So I could have organized this better maybe, but I know from the source code that these files exist in the source code, and I'm going to modify parts of it so we can also see this. Let's open the Django-Oscar master and let's look for the shipping app in source apps, source Oscar apps, shipping, and there you go, methods and repository. You can look on what's the inside. Now imagine that we want to change only these methods. All that we need to do is to bring this to our repository file. We don't need to modify all of them. We don't need to have all of them in our own my shipping repository file. Just the ones that you want to modify, okay? Of course, there's also the methods file, but for now, I'm gonna pause this video, and in the next video, I'll specifically modify the shipping app. I hope it was a good video. It was a bit more of theory this time, but I wanted to make it simple. I hope it worked. And yeah, let me know if there is something that you are not sure about. And yeah, I hope it was useful. And thank you for all the support. And bye.